The Calrathi fleet had traveled across 3-star systems to witness what they called the Great Cosmic Joke. Their warships, sleek obsidian giants that bent light around their hulls, hung in formation above Earth's orbital defense perimeter like predators circling wounded prey. Admiral froze and stood on the bridge of the flagship Endless Dominion, her forearms crossed in what her species considered the ultimate gesture of contempt. "They actually believe they can fight us," she said, her translator converting her chittering laugh into something humans might understand. Around her, the bridge crew veterans of a dozen conquered worlds shared in the amusement. On the tactical display, Earth's defense fleet looked pitiful. Outdated frigates, retrofitted cargo haulers with welded-on weapon systems, and a handful of destroyers that would have been considered antiques even by Calrathi standards from 2 centuries ago. The humans had numbered their ships in the low hundreds, the Calrathi armada numbered in the thousands. "Admiral," her tactical officer reported, "the humans are broadcasting on all frequencies. They're demanding our surrender." The bridge erupted in laughter. Frozen's mandibles clicked in what passed for a smile among her kind. "Patch it through. Let's hear what delusions sound like." The view screen flickered to life, revealing the bridge of a human warship. At its center stood a man in a crisp military uniform, his face weathered but his eyes sharp as broken glass. The nameplate on his chest read, "Finch." "This is Commander Finch of the UENF Defiance," the human said, his voice level and utterly devoid of fear. "You have 30 seconds to withdraw from Earth's orbital space. This is your only warning." Frozen leaned forward, genuinely intrigued now. Humans were known for their stubbornness, but this bordered on insanity. "Commander Finch," she purred, "I have conquered 17 worlds. My fleet has never known defeat. Your ships are museum pieces, and you number less than 1/10 of my forces. What possible threat could you pose?" Finch's expression didn't change. 20 seconds. "You're bluffing. You have no superweapon, no hidden fleet. Our scans show everything you have, and it's nowhere near enough." Frozen gestured to her weapons officer. "Target their command ship. Let's end this farce." 10 seconds, Finch said quietly. "Fire at will." A dozen Calrathi beam weapons lanced toward the Defiance. The human ship's shields flared and died instantly. Hull breaches erupted along its starboard side. On the view screen, Finch gripped his command chair as his bridge shook violently. His tactical officer shouted, "Shields down, hull integrity at 40%. Finch touched his communications console with a steady hand. "All ships," he said, his voice carrying across every human frequency. "Protocol White, authorization Finch Delta 77 issue. Execute immediately." Frozen frowned. "Protocol White, what is?" She never finished the sentence. Every human ship in the defense fleet suddenly accelerated, not toward the Calrathi armada, but away from it, diving at maximum burn directly toward Earth's atmosphere. The Calrathi fleet, caught off guard, hesitated. "Where are they going?" Frozen demanded. "Pursuit course." "Don't let them, Admiral," her science officer interrupted, his voice cracking with something that might have been fear. "I'm detecting massive energy buildups across the human fleet. They're overloading their reactor cores. All of them." Frozen's blood ran cold. "How many ships?" "All of them, Admiral. Every single human vessel." On the view screen, Finch smiled, not a happy expression, but the grim satisfaction of a man who had just played his final card. "You asked what threat we could pose, Admiral. The answer is simple. We're willing to do what you're not." The human ships hit Earth's upper atmosphere at velocities that should have torn them apart. Their shields, already weakened, collapsed entirely. Hulls began to glow cherry red, then what? And deep within each vessel, containment fields around antimatter reactor cores began to fail. Not randomly, simultaneously. Frozen understood in that terrible instant. She had faced desperate enemies before, but never this. Never an entire fleet, hundreds of ships, thousands of crew members willingly transforming themselves into a coordinated orbital bombardment of kinetic and nuclear energy. The humans weren't running. They were weaponizing their own defeat. "All ships, emergency jump," she screamed. "Get us out of." The first ship detonated, then the second, then dozens more. In a cascading chain of white-hot fury that lit up Earth's nightside like a second sun, the atmospheric entry had positioned them perfectly, their controlled detonations, creating a spherical shockwave of electromagnetic pulse, radiation, and raw kinetic force that expanded outward at a fraction of light speed. The Calrathi fleet, caught in formation, caught by surprise, caught by their own arrogance, had nowhere to go. Frozen's shields collapsed. Then her sister ships, the EMP wave fried systems across the armada. Ships collided, dead in space. Others, Their jump drives damaged, tore themselves apart trying to escape into faster-than-light travel. The carefully orchestrated formation became a DEATH-TRAP. When the light finally faded, 70% of the Calrathi fleet was destroyed or crippled. The remaining vessels, including Frozen's badly damaged flagship, limped away from Earth's orbital space at sublight speeds. On the bridge of the Endless Dominion, alarms wailed. Frozen stared at the viewscreen, where Earth still hung peacefully against the black, protected now by the expanding debris field of its own martyred fleet. The tactical display flickered back to life, damaged but functional. A single transmission was broadcasting from Earth's surface, repeating on all frequencies. It was Commander Finch's voice, recorded before his ship had become part of the Whitefire. To any hostile force receiving this message, humans don't fight to win. We fight so that losing costs you everything. Remember that before you come for our world again. Frozen collapsed into her command chair, her forearms trembling. She had conquered 17 worlds. She had thought she understood warfare, understood sacrifice, understood the calculus of victory and defeat. She had been wrong. The humans had shown her something new, a species that would burn its own sky white rather than submit. And in doing so, they had won not through superior firepower, but through the one thing the Calrathi could never calculate, the willingness to pay any price for freedom. As her damaged fleet retreated into the dark between stars, Admiral Frozen made a decision. She would never return to Earth, and she would make sure no one else did either. Some victories, she had learned, cost more than any defeat, and some species were never meant to kneel.